So, intercanopy lighting produces 20% bigger yield and 27% larger buds. Bigger buds and more yield is always a good thing. But first, real quick, everyone loves Phi genetics and big buds, but what's the secret to big tasty buds? Phi genetics and solid nutrients. The iCan VIP Bean Club has always got mailboxes burning down. Join the iCan VIP Bean Club and get in before the next drop. Or if you don't want to wait, use the code icanthc and grab some of the new iCan seeds today. The new crosses are lit and they're selling out super fast. But it don't stop there, guys, because the iCan Organics nutrients will help you to get the best out of your grows. The full line of iCan Organics can be used as a standalone or incorporated into your existing nutrients. If you're using bottle nutrients or dry amendments, it doesn't matter. It's the easiest way to feed your plants. Claim your iCan Organics today at a discounted price with the code icanthc. Grab it and let's grow! So, bigger flowers, more yields, and increased harvest. What's there not to like? Perfect. Now, yo, we got a massive Mars Hydro Black Friday announcement for you guys at the end of this video, so make sure you guys watch all the way to the end so you guys can grab yourself an awesome deal and snag some amazing LED lights. Now, the true question is, if you apply light directly to all flowers on a single plant, and not just from above, does that improve photon conversion efficiency and result in greater yields at lower costs? Because the truth is, intercanopy lighting has quickly become an emerging technology in recent years, with researchers, manufacturers, cultivators, all of them alike reporting dramatic increases in yield and quality. And intercanopy lighting is pretty useful and easy to understand why it can be so good for your garden. In fact, here's Migro from MigroLight. He breaks it down perfectly.
What is intercanopy lighting and what is your overall thoughts on it?
So our typical sort of traditional lighting is from above, and so you'd have your grow tent, you'd have multiple plants in your tent, and typically you try to grow a plane of green, sea of green, so that it'll like a solar panel, it'll capture all the photons from the light source, and of course convert it into energy and into growth. What's happening now is that I suppose the boundaries are starting to be pushed in terms of how much light the plants can take. And to push that to its extreme, people are starting to use intra-canopy lighting, which would be lighting that would be positioned either down the side or underneath the plants, and basically lighting it from below or from the side. And the theory is that you can get more growth out of the same square footage. So you can increase your yield per square foot by adding additional lighting underneath and at the side, as I say.
Now, there's been a lot of attention given between the relationship of light and yield, specifically the common cited metric of 1% more light equals 1% more yield. This is widely assumed not only in medicinal plants, but also in other crops, including things like tomato, cucumbers, and leafy greens. This rule is usually a good baseline, but the linear relationship of light to yield is not exactly that simple, and that's where the understanding of photosynthesis comes in. Now, photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and other organisms convert photosynthetic active radiation, or PAR energy, from the sun into chemical energy in the form of organic compounds, mainly glucose. During photosynthesis, carbon dioxide or CO2 from the atmosphere is combined with water to form glucose, which can then be used by the plant for energy and growth. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, so the more light the better, right, Matt? Just throw on more light. The more intercanopy lights I throw in, the more yield I get. But some studies have actually showed that going in with too much light can stop being useful and in fact have negative effects on your plants. In fact, here's how Migro explained it.
The intercanopy light can be additional to your top light and be positioned underneath the plant canopy. But when should you use it and how much should you use? Currently, grow lighting manufacturers and generally people tend to use around 800 or 900 micromoles average power on the top of the plant canopy. That would equate to about 350 watts per square meter or 35 watts per square foot. And Fluence found that you can supplement that top lighting with about 50% additional lighting or power, lighting from underneath, and you still get a return on that, a one-to-one return. So adding 50 watts, for example, or 50% more light gives you 50% more growth. And this is really incredible. However, they did find that going beyond that can be, you get a reducing, with a flat line is really the return you get. And then if you put too much in, and particularly strain dependent, you can get negative effects, such as mutations of the plants, foxtailing or re-vegging and that type of thing. So it's advised not to go much over a total of about 50 watts per square foot or 500 watts per square meter. So there is the potential of getting 50% more yield from the same space by using intra-canopy lighting.
Now, as time passed, certain grow companies began using intra-canopy lighting, and companies like the California Cultivation Company realized or noticed a significant increase in yield as well as increased bud size. The question that still remained was, is the increased yield due to the additional light and energy that's being applied, or is that difference due to the position of the light in the plant? So is it due to it being over the plant, at the side of the plant, or under the plant? And to help answer this question, Travis Higginbottom of State House Holdings formed an intra-canopy validation group to determine the impact of redistributing a fixed portion of light directly from above to the sides of your flowering plants when adding no additional light. You're basically just redistributing and reallocating some light from up here and moving it to down here. The objective of the study was to determine the impact of redistributing the same DLI, i.e. the same amount of energy used between top lighting alone versus the combined application of top lighting and lighting surrounding the canopy fixture. Now, it has been hypothesized that redistribution alone will in fact facilitate higher yields with no additional energy use. In other words, you don't need to add in more supplemental lights. You can just redistribute your existing lights. Now, these higher yields, if achieved, would carry a higher photon conversion efficiency and higher use efficiency, therefore increasing yields alongside reducing energy costs per pound. So your yields go up and your energy costs go down. Perfect. Now, since they did this study for us already, let's have a look at some of the details and findings from this intra-canopy lighting study. Now, the study was conducted using 3 indoor cultivation facilities. The experiment contained 2 treatments. Treatment 1 or T1 used top lighting alone, so you only got lighting up at the top, whereas treatment 2 or T2 had lighting up at the top and intra-canopy lighting, both of them combined. Each treatment applied the same DLI, with T2 allocating approximately 30% of the total DLI on average between collaborators to the intra-canopy lighting. Now, each treatment also applied the same DLI. Now, for those who don't know what DLI is, it means daily light integral, and we did a whole video on this, so check that out so you guys can get an understanding of what DLI is and why it's so important to your garden. Now, for this study, they used the exact same intra-canopy fixtures and the same lighting application principles throughout. And the results of those studies actually show that T2, the ones with the above canopy lighting and the intra-canopy lighting, actually had on average a 20% increase in flower yield alongside a 27% increase in premium to small flower ratio. So in other words, the buds just got a little bigger. Less larf, more nice bud. Now, the studies also showed that those with the intra-canopy lights also had a more uniform plant height, which was slightly shorter on average, but there was no significant change in potency. Now, for me, I find that pretty interesting. And a quick reminder, guys, if you're getting value from this video, please do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And if you want to support us further, hit the link in the description below, join the iCan VIP Bean Club for some fire genetics, or just cop some iCan Organics with the code icanthc. So based on these studies, there are definitely benefits when it comes to intra-canopy lighting. Now, if you're using intra-canopy lighting, just remember that these LEDs will be a lot closer to your plants than your traditional hanging lights. Sometimes they actually run through your plants, like literally through them. So here are a few things that you guys need to look out for if you're using intra-canopy lights to avoid any issues.
So what are the things to look out for? Well, in terms of that intra-canopy light, you want it to be IP rated. That's ingress protection rated. A minimum, I'd say 56, which allows water to be splashed on it. It's going to be in there in quite a damp environment with lots of condensation, so you want to be the fixture to be sealed and not an electrical risk. You also want those LEDs to be covered. So most intra-canopy lights should have and do have acrylic or perspex covers over the LEDs, protecting the LEDs, because you don't want dirt, dust, water landing directly on the LEDs when they're facing upwards. It would cause hot spots on the LEDs and cause them to burn out, will damage them, and may even cause a fire. Ideally as well, you are able to control them simultaneously, so you'd be able to connect them up onto the same timing and dimmer circuit with your main lights. You would also ideally have the driver remote from the fixture. I see a lot of the fixtures have the LED drivers inside the fixture. That's just going to add to the heat and that you're putting in there underneath your canopy. But you do want to keep those canopy temperatures down relatively low, particularly in the flowering stage, so that you maintain the potency and you don't evaporate off all those lovely terpenes and flavonoids and cannabinoids.
So these studies are pretty useful and their conclusions and recommendations are pretty interesting. According to these reports, based on the research, it demonstrated that redistributing a portion of your top lighting directly to the sides of your plants can in fact facilitate higher yields with no additional energy use needed and no additional cost either. Each participant in the study observed a significant increase in production with a lot less energy use. These higher yields also carried a higher photon conversion efficiency and a higher use efficiency, therefore increasing the yields alongside reducing the energy consumption per pound. So all that said, this was a really interesting topic and lots of people have been trying supplemental lighting in their garden, whether it's supplemental UV IR or just supplemental intercanopy lighting. But I want to find out what you guys think, and more importantly, what do you guys do in your garden? Do you guys use intercanopy lighting, supplemental lighting, or do you guys not bother at all? Drop it in the comments and let me know. And like I promised you guys, we got a banging special for you right now because Mars Hydro's Black Friday sale is now live until the end of the month. Use code icanthc and get a double discount on top of sale items. Grab a great LED fixture and level up your grow room today. Mars Hydro has amazing LED lights and I've been using them for years. I've never had a single problem. They have UV IR supplemental lights as well, so if you want to add some extra bang to your grow tent, they got you covered. Whether you need a new LED, an extra flower tent, a carbon filter to get rid of the smell, or even a drip irrigation system, check out the Mars Hydro website now and use the code icanthc to claim your highly discounted gear. Their rewards program is awesome. Mars Hydro has recently upgraded their lights, fans, and tents, and they all make awesome options for your indoor garden. So hit the link in the description, use the code icanthc, and check out the Mars Hydro mega sale now! And hey, don't forget to claim your free gift as well. You definitely don't want to miss that. The double discounts won't last long and stock goes really quickly. So check it out now and we'll see you over there. But wait, if you guys want to find out more about growing that fire, then make sure to check out any episode on screen right now and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace fam.